Everyone knows Conor McGregor as the brightest star in UFC history, the Irishman who knocked out opponents with a single punch and filled arenas all over the world. But few people realize that one night, his career almost came to a sudden end. The reason? An injury so devastating that doctors had to rebuild him to keep him fighting. In July 2021, during his fight against Dustin Poirier, Conor suffered a gruesome leg break. Millions of fans around the globe watched in shock as McGregor sat against the cage, screaming in pain. At first, it looked like just another freak accident. But behind the scenes, the damage was far worse than anyone expected. Doctors diagnosed a broken tibia and fibula. But the truth was much darker. The injury was so complex that surgeons had to insert a titanium rod through his leg, along with plates and screws to hold the bones together. This is where the whispers of a secret surgery began. According to insiders, doctors questioned whether McGregor's leg would ever heal to full strength. One even warned him, if complications appeared, he might never fight again. For a man who built his identity on being unstoppable, hearing those words was a heavier blow than any knockout. McGregor was left on crutches, struggling with the simplest tasks, walking, training, even sleeping without pain. In interviews, Conor kept insisting that everything was under control. But the reality, his recovery was slow, painful, and uncertain. Many within the UFC quietly wondered if we had already seen the last of Conor McGregor inside the octagon. But McGregor has always thrived on defiance. He began a brutal rehabilitation process. Water therapy, one-legged workouts, electrical stimulation sessions. Every single day was a battle, not just against pain, but against doubt. That's when new rumors surfaced. McGregor had undergone a second hidden procedure. Allegedly, doctors reinforced his joint with additional implants, essentially rebuilding his leg to give him even the slightest chance of a comeback. The psychological war was just as harsh. Media outlets declared his career over. Critics mocked that he would never return. But Conor, as always, refused to be written off. Today, years later, we see McGregor preparing for battle once again. But what most fans don't understand is this. His comeback isn't just about training or money, it's about survival. This is the side of Conor the world rarely sees. Not the flashy showman, not the king of trash talk, but a man who had to be rebuilt piece by piece, just to walk back into the cage and prove he was still alive.